Hey lovely people, welcome to another video. So, in the last video that I posted, I talked about how I was planning on finishing my second draft of the book that I'm currently working on and currently set on publishing at some stage in my life. Small recap, my name is Athena. I am a 33-year-old mother of two girls who I homeschool and they are with me 24/7. So, fun times. Now, in the previous video, I mentioned how I had two goals that I was setting for myself based on the fact that I wanted to participate in Pathfinder's Writing Collective Challenge this year. It is basically PORICO, I believe, is like the acronym, you know, the shorter. So PORICO 2024, technically starting on the 1st of November and can go all the way until the end of January. That is the uniqueness of it and what I really liked about it. You could do only November, you could do November, December, you can do November, December, January. It is up to you. The main thing with my challenge was I wanted to use October or Preptober or Pathtober, as the Pathfinders are calling it, to work on my second draft, finish up the second draft, outline, world build, just tidy up everything that I needed to tidy up in order to prepare for draft 3. So let's talk about how I've now changed my main goals and why. So number one, I'm now realizing that my Pathfinder's goals will have to be outlining in November and writing in December and January. That is the reality of it. I am almost embracing it. Almost. I'm getting there. I'm getting there. My brain is still kind of stuck on the fact that I wanted to be done with draft 3, have like a full finished draft 3 at the end of this year. It's kind of, I guess, the end of the year thing where everything's nice and tidy and finished up, I guess. More an idea than anything else. Yes.
Well, my strawberry yogurt will be
It'll be here very soon, yeah?
with the groceries?
Yes, with the groceries, okay? You give me 8 of them. Don't do that, please. Okay.
I'm happy.
Yes, I got them. All right. Ella, go. Give mommy a little 10 minutes. I can just finish my
Hello.
video, yeah? All right, hello. Go. Come on. Okay. As I was saying, disruptions are going to be a very normal occurrence in my videos. That is one thing for sure. I am definitely not one of those people who has others kind of, I don't know, any kind of childcare really, in all reality. Anyway, back to what we were talking about. So, what happened with my goals that I had originally set? The plan was October would be preparation, finishing of draft 2, preparation, etc. I set two goals in the previous video. One was very unrealistic, that I wanted to finish my second draft within 3 days, which was now 10 days ago. Not finished, not even close. And the second one was a more realistic one where I gave myself a week to do it. Now, if things had gone the way they should have, I probably would have actually been, if not finished it, I would have been very, very close at this point. However, 2 hours after that video was filmed and uploaded, I burnt my hand. I burnt my thumb, I burnt my fingers, I burnt my fingertips. I could not type. Like that, the day that I burnt my hand was out of the question. Even the next day, I was kind of typing this very weird, like I could not get any work done in all reality. Then after that started healing and I started being able to touch a keyboard again, I injured my back and I couldn't sit properly in my seat to sit and type. So, long story short, I had a little bit of time on my hands to kind of rethink my approach and my goals. And I realized that my main goal is to finish draft 3. I want a finished draft 3 at the end of this challenge that I can give to, technically I guess, alpha readers, because it's not exactly beta readers, but my mom and my sister-in-law basically will be reading the book once it's done. The first ever, you know, book, part of the book where I want to give it to someone else actually. So my main thought was this. My goal is to finish a nice third draft, okay? Okay. There is no point in jumping ahead and trying to like rush things. I need to get this done properly. I need to get draft 2 finished. And why I'm kind of rushing over draft 2 is because draft 2 is just me adding all the elements that I have in my head based on what I wrote in draft 1 onto paper. So draft 2 is draft 1 with just all the details added into it that I want to be in the book that I kind of didn't add because I was still figuring out how to even write a draft in the first place. Right? So technically, draft 2 is kind of the second version of draft 1 in a way, but I'm calling it draft 2 because it's a full rewrite and it's a second draft. So at this point, I am taking it scene by scene. I had set a 100,000 word count goal for my second draft based on the 87,000 words of the first draft. I am currently sitting at 109,000 words and I am definitely sure it will hit 120,000 at this point. know it. I'm accepting it. That is fine. I just want everything to be down on the page so I can then revise, work through it, edit, change, alter, remove, all the fun stuff, right? So the goal for October now is finishing draft 2 based on a scene-by-scene plan. Once that is done, I want to print it out, give myself a day or two where I don't really touch it. I'm kind of like reading other things, even if it's reading craft books like Save the Cat or whatnot. I want to just give myself a little bit of distance because I know I won't be able to give myself more distance. I can't. I cannot do that right now. I know a lot of people say give it a month, give it 2 months, give it like even more than that. Yeah, no, that ain't gonna happen. I can't do it. I can't do it. I apologize for that. It is just the way my brain works. I won't be able to do that. So I'm gonna try and give myself a day or two away from it, and then I want to at least, so today is the 21st of October as I film this, right? So I'm basically giving myself 9 days at this point to finish the second draft, print it out, and then read through it one time, marking just like the very like basic things that I want to fix and change on it, the things that I already had in my mind as I'm even writing it. So like the first very bare kind of note-taking while reading it as a normal book. Then the 1st of November will strike. And if all has gone well, I will be able to sit down with my printed out draft 2 and work through the beats, work through my scene outlines, work through any world building that needs to be done, backstory that needs to be written, simply so I can have more of the information and then kind of sprinkle it throughout the book, etc. Just all those moving parts that I need to kind of set in place, plan, so that I can write, so that I can write the best third draft I possibly can. Because right now, there are so many things that are in my head that I know, but I need to somehow convey them in the story itself. Like I need to increase my villain's like time on the page. Not necessarily time, more so presence in a way. Like the presence of the villain is not felt as much as I would want it to be, for example. Or I need to focus a lot on my character arcs and just the characterization in general of my characters. There's a lot of things, like a lot of, you know, little things. And I know that there's always like 4th drafts and 5th drafts and whatnot, or, you know, but I need to take the time in November and really plan out what needs to be done. Now, whether that will be done within draft 3 or not is a whole other story. What I do want to do for draft 3 100% is make sure that, number 1, I have set up my beat sheets. I'm going to be using Save the Cat, and we'll just kind of see how we go with that. Number 2, I want to set up the romance beat sheet using Romancing the Beat, is it called? I'm looking at the books down there. And just set up my outline and really, I already have a kind of outline. I kind of created the outline as I was writing, so I do kind of have a scene outline, and the whole point now is going to be to just sort that out, really fill that in. Can I help you? Lovely. Can you please not stand right behind the camera when I'm talking to it? Thank you. So I was interrupted yet again. The main point is, so I can, you know, because this video is going to be long for no reason. The main point is that I need to focus on setting up my beat sheets. I need to focus on sorting out my outline and adding all of the scenes that I want in that outline. I want to kind of really add the different character scenes, because for example, there are a couple of subplots that I know I want to be in the story, but I haven't really added them at where they have to go. Like they're added in odd places where I would remember that this is what I wanted to do and where it actually had like an important part in the main plot, but I didn't have like the setup and all that, like, you know, it lacks a little bit. So again, all those little things, we are going to be working on them together. I'm going to be filming that process. It's going to be a fun month of you guys watching me work while my children interrupt me every 2 seconds. So another thing that I realized, and this is probably gonna be the final thing I tell you guys and just end this video, is I cannot set specific times for my work. So if I say to myself, I'm gonna be working from this hour to this hour every day doing my writing, or I'm gonna be spending, you know, this amount of time on this amount of time, any planned times and hours are a no-go, because I will, like, inevitably, I will not be able to do it. Whether it's gonna be straight away, whether it's gonna be a couple days down the track, I won't be able to do that. What I can do is say, I need to do backstory for a certain character on one day, and whatever time I find throughout that day to work on my writing, that is what I'm doing. The next day, I'm going to be doing specific outline work, Again, whatever time I have, I know that throughout the day I can get 1 to 2 hours of work done, but it's so sporadic and it comes in bursts of 10 minutes, 15 minutes, half an hour. Sometimes I could even get an hour if like the girls are playing or they're happy doing other things and you know, their dad's home and whatnot. But it takes like a lot of, there's no way I can really plan that kind of thing in all reality, because even when they're with their dad, for example, they will tend to come to me for whatever they need. It's just, it's the thing. It's like, dad can do that too. And they're like, no, just no. Yeah. So anyway, that is the main thing. I failed miserably at my delusional goal of finishing a draft within 3 days. I am sitting at 110,000 almost words, definitely looking at a big draft too, which, you know, editing will get that down. I know I'm not too worried about that. But yeah, a lot of planning, a lot of outlining, a lot of things in November. I have come to terms with the fact that my Preptober, or Pathtober, is finishing draft 2, printing it out, and reading through it. That is it. I am fine with that. November will be my outlining, beat sheet preparing, all the thing, world building month. And then December and January are writing months. My goal is to have a finished draft 3 at the end of January that I can then give to basically my mom and my sister-in-law, so they can read it and just get those first opinions on something that I've written, because I'm terrified of that, by the way. But anyway, so yeah, that is all for this video. I will probably be starting a weekly vlog of like writing and stuff from tomorrow, which is Tuesday. So that'll be fun. Just, yeah, sharing how much time I get to actually write and do work and my thinking process, and just, yeah, we'll get into that. We'll get into that. It's fun writing with children constantly with you. It's, how do you immerse yourself in writing? Like I see, and I'm going off track here, but if anyone has stayed until this point in the video, thank you for being here. You see these videos where everyone's like immersive writing sessions and like really getting into the zone and writing and being in your story. I do that, but in sprints, tiny sprints. Like I can never, it's very rare that I really can sit down and immerse myself in my writing fully to the point where I like really, you know. There are moments though, like there's times when I put them to bed and I get this burst of like inspiration, and you know, and I really need to write and sort out a scene or something, and I'll sit down and I'll just write for an hour straight without even realizing that I've done that. But it's a rare occurrence. It's a rare occurrence. Writing takes work. It's not just, and another thing is I see all these like trending kind of, you know, writing like Neil Gaiman or something, or writing like this famous author or that famous author, and I'm like, that would not work for me. I might try to do that just for the fun of it though, just to kind of prove a point. Anyway, that is all. This video is gonna be huge for no reason. We will chat in this kind of fashion throughout the vlogs that will be coming. I'm just gonna start vlogging, like, I don't know, maybe I'll do like 3 days at a time or something like that. We'll see. For October, finishing the draft, and then the challenge will be a bit different. I'll see how I'll go about it. We'll see. We'll see. It's fun times. We're just exploring and figuring out how to go about this as a mom who's writing with older children who she homeschools, who are with her constantly. I'll see you guys in the next one. Bye.